online dating, something AJHQ probably strongly advises against. But you know, we've all done it anyway. Especially me. I have two kind of interesting stories about my online dating experiences in Animal Jam. Well, the first one is not actually that interesting, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. So way back when I joined, I was like 11. I was like finishing year 6, and I had just gotten membership for the first time, and my very first kind of main outfit I think was like a red fox with a bone tail and a futuristic headset and a studded collar, but you know, it looked very typical boy jammer. So anyway, I was in the pillar room, you know, back when the pillar room was in the right place. I don't exactly remember what happened. I think this other jammer came up to me and was like, "Do you want to be my boyfriend?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I remember she was like this kind of either pink or purple fox looking avatar. This was a very long time ago, so I don't remember. Yeah, so we buddied each other and we started hanging out, you know, going to the juice hut, going to the theatre. I think one day we just kind of stopped talking to each other. I think she quit, so that was kind of the first, a kind of boring experience dating in Animal Jam. You know, we had a few good moments. It was nice, but I was 11. This was like, what, 2016? You know, it was nothing too crazy. This next story though, oh boy. Okay, so I was very prominent in the roleplay scene in Animal Jam back in like 2018. I was very active on Animal Jam roleplay wiki. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a website for like roleplayers on... It was mostly targeted towards Animal Jam at first, and then it kind of shifted towards general animal roleplays on Discord and the website itself. It was kind of, you know, your typical warrior cats, wolf pack kind of deal. But yeah, I ended up joining this pack. I'm not gonna say any names, say any usernames, or say any pack names because I don't remember many of them, but I do remember joining this pack and becoming fairly close with like the owner. I think there were like 3 alphas at the time. There was this one girl, I'm gonna call her Ruby, and then Ruby's brother, I'm gonna call him Baron, because yeah. I say brother with heavy quotation marks because one account was member, one account was non-member, and they were mysteriously never on at the same time. But anyway, the third alpha isn't really important. This boy alpha, the supposed brother of this girl, he ended up confessing to me in roleplay, I think. The line between roleplay and non-roleplay was very blurred at the time, but yeah, basically I think Ruby, the sister, ended up saying, "Oh, my brother likes you," and I was like, "Oh, okay." My OC started dating this guy's OC, Baron, and it was nice, it was pleasant. We hung out, we roleplayed a lot in Animal Jam, you know, it was all going smoothly. And one day, he gets online. Yeah, he started sending me names of songs and being like, "Oh, this makes me think of you. Go away! This makes me think of you." Which was a tiny bit weird, but you know, it wasn't like horrendous. I can also think of another instance where I had a few avatars with like the boy eyes, mostly because I liked how they looked. But he would always get so suspicious and be like, "Oh, why has your animal got boy eyes?" And I'd be like, "I don't know, because they do." You know, it ended up getting a little bit weird to the point where his roleplay character, Baron's roleplay character, ended up like super overpowered to the point where he could like run at the speed of light. But it was pretty weird. I don't know, at one point I ended up fighting his sister in like a tournament, and she was like strong enough to lift a house and throw it around the world. Stuff like that. But that's not even the weirdest part. So kind of towards the end of my time in this pack, before I, you know, kind of moved on, I'm in the pack den, which was my den, and we were just hanging out, and then suddenly he kind of comes up to my avatar and is like, "Oh, I can smell something weird." And I'm trying to play along. I'm like, "Oh, haha, what do you smell?" And then this guy, he turns around and he goes, "You're having a baby." Excuse me? brother, we just met. It was like not even planned either. He just decided my OC was going to have a baby. I left shortly after that and I never spoke to them again. So yeah, that was weird. Those are honestly the only kind of dating experiences I remember. But if you're interested in like other story times from my youthful Animal Jam days, let me know. I'll be quite happy to do them. Thank you for listening. Bye.